Hey guys, it's Mike Naninto the Silver Dragon here, and today this video is going to be about the new Vainglory update video, update 2.1. First off, I'm going to talk about the hero changes in the game. So a couple of heroes were nerfed, a couple were buffed, so I'll go one by one on the list. So Petal is nerfed after this update. Her minions have less range of attack, and her first ability has a longer cooldown, but she does a little bit more damage from her minions. In my opinion, that's a big nerf, because her range of her minions was really big, and decrease in that range is going to affect her gameplay a lot. The cooldown doesn't matter a lot. The little bit more damage I think it's supposed to compensate for the less range, but I feel like Petal is nerfed. And then Gwen is nerfed after this update as well. Her first ability does less damage weapon power wise, and it uses more less damage CP wise, and uses more energy. The Vainglory did this so she couldn't spam her first ability when she builds crystal power. So yeah, that's just a nerf right there. Taka is buffed, specifically weapon power Taka. He does more basic damage with his first ability, weapon ratio wise, and he has more shield and armor. So like, Taka is going to be a little bit more tankier, and he will have a little bit more weapon power. Catherine is nerfed. Catherine, before this update, was really good. She could get like Echo and the Big Claw, I forgot, No Wave Gauntlet. You could silence the opponents, and then Echo again, and then item silence them, which was really effective. So basically, she has less shield, down to like average other heroes. I think it's like 86. Catherine also has longer cooldown for her ult, and her ult does less damage, and the silence on the ult is less. I think it was like 3 seconds, now it's only 2 seconds. So like, that's a pretty big nerf right there. So like, Catherine might not be in the meta anymore, I'm not too sure, but like, let's see. Lance, I don't know if buffed or nerfed. He's changed, that's all I can say. His second ability has a longer cooldown and uses more energy, which is kind of a nerf-ish, I don't know. And then, but his ult uses less energy, so like, they just changed that, nothing big there. Rona is buffed, like, big time. I feel like Rona is gonna be like the next Koshka, like early game, really strong. Rona's first ability and second ability has a higher weapon ratio now. You can use her ult more often because of her blood rage. Instead of 50, you only need 25 to use it. And then like, every second of your ult, it uses less blood rage now. So like, I feel like Rona got a pretty big buff there. I mean, I haven't seen her a lot, but I feel like after this update, people are going to use her more. Hopefully, at least. Lyra is also buffed. She has more armor and shield, which is like, I think she's like the least tanky of the roam, because she has the least amount of armor and shield. And her first ability gives you a faster speed boost when she pops it off. So yeah, that's a pretty good buff. Fortress is buffed as well. He has more shield and armor. And then his first ability is basically, he uses his first ability and he lands it on the enemy hero. Your ally heroes can have a speed boost when chasing the hero. They changed it to be more accurate in the range, and yeah. Kroll is buffed. Kroll was buffed in the last update, and he's being buffed again this update. So like, Kroll used to be really good. Well, not used to actually. Like, for beginners, people feel like Kroll's really good because like, it's pretty easy to play as Kroll. But like, in higher level gameplay, people don't usually play as Kroll. It's really hard to play as Kroll in a 3v3 match. It's pretty hard. Cole is buffed, he has more shield and armor, his first ability has less cooldown, and the health barrier is increased from his first ability. His second ability grants him more lifesteal, so like, big buff there. Samuel is nerfed, his second ability does less damage, like, okay, who cares, no one does damage with Samuel with his big black circle. But then, like, when you're in the circle, your first ability doesn't get an increase in cooldown. It'll just have the normal cooldown, which means less damage. So Samuel is nerfed. Next is Kestrel, who in my opinion was definitely getting a nerf. She just did too much damage. People could get like 5 shatter glasses and an echo, and then that was their build. Her glimmer shots were just too powerful. Okay, so she has no more adrenaline stacks. She has more attack speed though, so like that kind of balances us out. Her first ability does less damage and has no more pierce in armor and shield. And her basic attack ratio is increased. Despite all that, I feel like Kestrel just hit a big nerf. She really needed it as well, because Kestrel was a little bit too OP in my opinion. She could just go invisible the entire game, set up her B ability, and keep shooting them when the enemies walk into the circle. So a nerf was needed in my opinion. Finn is nerfed-ish, not really. I mean, like, if you use your ult and you don't get any enemy heroes, you'll just have your cooldown. Instead of previously you get a percentage back. For example, if you didn't land anyone and your normal cooldown for your ult is 20 seconds, it'll only be 10. Now it's still 20. So like a tiny nerf there, but I don't think it'll have any major effects. And the ult for Finn, Finn's ult's cooldowns increased as well. Skye is changed a bit for weapon. Skye. Her first ability does less weapon ratio damage wise, but for every 100 weapon power, the first ability applies slow to the enemy hero. So that's like pretty good. That's basically like a frostburn, but like you don't have it, and it's like your first ability, and you can still build weapon, which is pretty good. So I feel like that's sort of a buff, but I mean, like, it might be really bad, so I just put it. Skye's changed her first ability. Arden is changed / buffed-ish. So basically, Arden has less armor because he had too much armor compared to other heroes, and now he has more shield. If you overdrive his first ability, the range of it increases, and for his second ability, if you overdrive it, the range of that is increased as well. So I mean, like, I guess that's a buff-ish, just more range to his abilities. Idris is buffed as well. Many people didn't use CP Idris, so they increased the crystal ratio of his basic attacks. His second ability, Chakram, has less cooldown and does more damage to minions now. So that's like a tiny big buff there, I guess. Tiny big buff. What am I even saying? Tiny buff there. So yeah, Scarf is changed. His first its first ability does less damage, but the damage has a higher crystal ratio percentage now. So now I'll talk about all the other stuff in the updates. So if you guys didn't know, well, if you guys don't know this, I don't even know if you're playing Vainglory or not. There's a new game mode, even though it's in the beta, but it's still a new game mode, and they'll change it very likely. I don't know. It's splits. It's only 5 minutes long, and basically, if you get 15 points before 5 minutes, you win. Or whoever has the most points at the end of 5 minutes wins as well. If you guys are tired at 5 minutes, whoever gets the next point wins. It's pretty simple. If you kill an enemy hero, that's 1 point. You get the gold mine, or the turret, or their crystal miner, that's 3 points. So yeah, it's pretty simple. You start off at level 9. You have 6,000 gold. You can choose any hero you want. It's a pretty fun game mode in my opinion. I played like 20 already. I mean, like, it's really fun. I mean, like, I played all of them as Black Feather. If you guys were paying attention to the footage in the background. I was playing Black Feather the entire time, because I don't know, I feel like Black Feather is really good in this mode for some reason. I just don't know why. Maybe Blitz is Black Feather's like best game mode. I don't know. I just feel like he's really good. I've seen people play as Kroll in Blitz mode. I mean, like, that's pretty cool and all, because you know you can get the gold mine all by yourself, and then, I mean, like, that's pretty good. But in my opinion, Kroll's, I don't know. Even though you got a buff this update, I still feel like he's kind of weak for some reason. I don't know why, but I'll leave that to you guys. And then there's a new thing called the Epic Chest, Epic Mystery Chest. Instead of Mystery Chest, there's Epic ones. Basically, a lot better. You get, it costs 999 ice. It gives you a hero and a skin. That's 100% guaranteed. And if you get like a duplicate of one, then you just get opals, and it'll be at least 20. And this is not included of if you get a duplicate. You still get a minimum of 20 opals. You have and the jackpot is 100,000 ice, 1 million ice, and 1 million opals. So those jackpots are pretty good. And that's gonna wrap up this update video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next video. If you like this video, then please like it, because like, why not? And then like, you guys really feel like my content's really good, you could subscribe. Thank you. And yeah. Mike 992 Silver Dragon.